On the afternoon of Monday, July 21st, an extraordinary weather event struck southern Mexico City, leaving behind a winter-like scene in the middle of summer. What initially seemed like just another rainy day quickly transformed into a brutal hailstorm that blanketed streets, rooftops, and avenues with such a thick layer of ice that many mistook it for snow. The storm hit hardest in boroughs like Tlalpan, Coyoacán, and Álvaro Obregón, where the hail, combined with intense lightning, unleashed chaos and brought much of the city's mobility to a standstill. As the skies darkened and thunder cracked violently overhead, the first hailstones began to fall, small at first, but quickly growing large enough to send both drivers and pedestrians scrambling for shelter. Visibility dropped dramatically, streets turned slick, and major roads became frozen rivers. The scene was surreal: stalled vehicles, people trapped with no way forward, and the ground blanketed in white, reflecting the storm's raw power. The city's Civil Protection Agency quickly issued an orange alert, knowing this storm wouldn't be short-lived or harmless. The images circulating on social media were both striking and alarming. Cars stranded under layers of hail, trees bent or broken under the weight of the ice, and neighbors desperately trying to clear pathways with brooms, shovels, or whatever they had. In parts of Coyoacán, the ground disappeared entirely beneath inches of hail, creating a white carpet that paralyzed entire neighborhoods. One of the most critical areas was Periférico Sur, a major city thoroughfare. There, the combination of water and hail overflowed sidewalks, completely blocking traffic. Several underpasses became impassable, forcing authorities to close some entrances. Public transportation also suffered. Multiple buses stopped for safety reasons, while passengers waited under the storm, unsure when they'd be able to continue their routes. In the Miguel Hidalgo neighborhood of Tlalpan, the situation grew even more serious. A large tree collapsed onto a schoolyard, alarming nearby residents. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the building was evacuated and temporarily closed while structural assessments were conducted. Firefighters arrived promptly to remove the tree, though the slippery conditions made their work difficult and dangerous. The following morning, Tuesday, July 22nd, the storm's aftermath was still clearly visible. Many streets, especially those with little direct sunlight, still had leftover hail. Cleanup crews worked non-stop to clear roadways and help the city recover some sense of normalcy. Mexico City's water agency confirmed that the storm drains were pushed to their limit during the event, which helped prevent major flooding but didn't stop widespread pooling and overflow. Rainfall levels recorded during the storm far exceeded the seasonal average. Drainage systems were overwhelmed, and several areas experienced heavy runoff and overflows. Weather forecasts had warned of strong rain and possible hail early that morning, but few expected the situation to escalate as dramatically as it did. Emergency protocols were activated, yet the storm turned out to be far more aggressive than anticipated. The electrical grid was also impacted. The Federal Electricity Commission reported outages in several southern neighborhoods due to fallen branches and ice buildup on power lines. In some places, service was restored within hours, while in others, repair work extended well into the night. Meanwhile, residents organized themselves to cope with the unusual cold and lack of electricity. Other parts of the country also felt the effects of this rare day. In municipalities like Tlalpan and Coyoacán, located in the state of Mexico, heavy rain persisted throughout the night, though it didn't reach the intensity seen in the capital. Still, authorities remained on alert, closely monitoring weather patterns in case the storm system reactivated. Magdalena Contreras was another borough affected. With its higher elevation, the area became a slippery corridor of ice, impossible to navigate by foot or car. In Álvaro Obregón, key roads such as Prolongation San Antonio and Camino Real a Toluca were buried under heavy hail, resulting in traffic jams that lasted for hours. Cleanup teams and emergency responders had to work under extreme conditions to reopen these routes. Even Metro Line 12 wasn't spared. Water leaks were reported in several tunnel sections, forcing trains to reduce speed and apply safety protocols. Riders experienced significant delays, particularly between the Tlalpan and Coyoacán stations. Although the service wasn't suspended, the situation was tense for many passengers stuck in overcrowded stations. That Monday night, social media exploded with videos and photos documenting the chaos. Cars swept away by water and hail, collapsed rooftops, and neighbors trapped inside their homes. In total, more than 25 major flood zones were reported, all addressed by emergency crews who worked tirelessly through the night to restore mobility and reduce risks. Many homes suffered noticeable damage. Leaking roofs, shattered windows from the hail's impact, flooded basements, and patios buried under ice were just some of the consequences. While authorities confirmed that no lives were lost, the emotional toll was significant. A sense of vulnerability gripped hundreds of families who were completely unprepared for such a violent storm. Community response proved essential. In various neighborhoods, residents came together to clear debris, share tools, and assist the elderly or those with mobility challenges. This spontaneous show of solidarity was one of the few bright moments in an event that exposed serious weaknesses in the city's ability to cope with extreme weather. Meteorologists explained that this kind of hailstorm occurs when warm air masses rise quickly and collide with cold currents, forming towering storm clouds capable of producing large hail. The geographical location of southern Mexico City makes it especially susceptible to this type of thermal clash, though it's rare for it to result in such intense phenomena. What happened set off alarms among both officials and experts. While the storm may have been extraordinary, a major city cannot afford to shut down in a matter of minutes. It's urgent to evaluate the state of the drainage system, the condition of storm grates, and the city's capacity to respond to similar events that, according to scientists, could become more frequent due to climate change. By Tuesday evening, the city was slowly returning to normal, though many corners still showed traces of the disaster. For some, it was just a strong storm. For others, it was a terrifying experience that left a mark. One thing is certain. The hailstorm of July 21st will be remembered as one of the most intense and unexpected weather episodes Mexico City has ever faced.